2 seasons to each year, according to the Sporting Australian, but a mild winter can make it difficult to distinguish between them. Cricket and swimming dominate the summer scene. Then, with the first sign of autumn, or even earlier, the focus swings to one or another form of football. They look back on summer as that period between matches and concentrate then on devoting the next few months to the code they favour. And that's a choice Australians make between their own game of Australian rules, Rugby League, Rugby Union, or the fastest growing football game of them all, soccer.
December 1969, and a vital World Cup match at the Sydney Sports Ground. In the months previously, Australia have done well to eliminate South Korea, Japan and Rhodesia. Now only Israel remains, blocking the path to Mexico City and a place in the last 16. In a home and away contest, Israel scored a narrow 1-0 victory over the travel-weary Australians in Tel Aviv only 10 days ago. Australia must win today to force a third match playoff. And the excitement of the occasion has attracted a 30,000 capacity crowd to the sports ground. The Australian team out there in the middle in their gold and green strip, and the tension is obvious as the inevitable pre-match presentations take place. Here are names and faces that at last mean something to the thousands of juniors playing the game today. Wojtek, Walsh, Abonyi, Marnock, Ackley and Johnny Warren, the Australian captain.
Many people claim the large intake of European migrants as the reason for an increasing popularity and improving standards of the soccer game. Certainly Australians are beginning to think soccer. Newspapers now give pages to news of the game, where once other codes had exclusive coverage. Certainly the promotion of junior soccer has done much for the game in Australia. At one time, the whole national team was composed of imported players. But today, more and more young Australians are making the big time. Australia's captain, John Warren, is a product of the junior ranks.
I started first grade career with Canterbury when I was 15, and I changed to St George Budapest when I was 4 years later when I was 19, and I've been with them now for 6 years. I started as a 5-year-old at Botany in the Protestant Churches competition. My 2 brothers joined a youth club, and the fellow that running the youth club was just deciding whether to play rugby league or soccer. And luckily he chose soccer, and my 2 brothers started, and being like all young brothers, you know, I tagged along and ended up playing soccer.
Kevin, can't you go the other half?
You want to play the other half? No, take me.
Who's come off this half then? Jeff and who? Yeah, and who's the other one?
Well, the boys that actually play in the nursery side are boys that have not played before and turned 6 or younger during the year that they're actually playing. The youngest boys come down in sometimes to 3 years of age, which is quite a range. It's very difficult in the first year with boys that have never played before at this age to teach them too much, and the main aim that we have in this club is to teach them to enjoy the game and to appreciate the game, so that when they do come on next year and play in an under-age group, they will be more keen to learn and get on with the game.
Straight through, Sean, so he was not there. Right? Come on, get across, Peter, come on, move!
With the nursery team, we're fortunate in that the organisers allow the coach of each team to run the field with the boys to place them in positions. However, we find it a little difficult with youngsters ranging from up to 6 years of age, in that when the whistle blows, it appears the only thing they have in mind is to get to the ball and try and kick it. Usually when they kick it, they'll stand there and pat themselves on the back. After a couple of seconds, they'll take off again and try and get in another kick. And more often than not, it appears that a rugby league scrum is being packed down rather than the game of soccer in progress. We have in the vicinity of 65,000 juniors playing in the metropolitan area. Of these, even if only 1% were to remain in the game, it's naturally for the betterment of the game. The standards are improving, and I believe the reason for the popularity of the game of late is that the parents are starting to realise that it is not a body contact game, it is a scientific game and a healthy game.
Right, today, boys, we're going to go through the elementary arts of kicking a soccer ball, right? So I'll show you how we do it, then we'll roll through and see if we can do it the way I'm showing you.
I feel that the coaching standards are starting to improve now.
Standing foot.
1967, the Bankstown Association started what they call the Bankstown Coaching Academy, which is for coaches at various levels. You can commence at the junior level and work your way through to the senior level. This is a course that's designed to fill in all the gaps that people that have played soccer and are not fully aware of all the coaching methods are able to obtain these methods. But generally, the people that we have coaching are people that are interested parents that feel they have the time and the willingness to assist.
It'll come back to me like a rocket. It's essential when you're heading that you keep your eyes open at all times. You head the ball below the hairline and above the eyebrows on the solid part of your head. Don't let the ball hit you, you hit. You've got to go into it and belt. Hit it as hard as you can. It's not going to hurt you. David, come on, get into it a bit harder than that. Sean, good boy, but use your head. Belt. Robert. No, you're going a bit early. You're not watching the ball. Keep your eye on the ball. Check your feet, good boy. Right over the back. Big hard throw. You're throwing them up in the air a little bit too much. Robert. Check your feet. Make sure they're behind the line. Right over the back of the head. Big hard throw. Good boy. That was a beauty. They're the way we want them. Robert. Come on, dribble. Push him forward. Come on now. After him. Not too fast. That's the boy. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Good boy. Keep chasing him. Come on. You can't stop when you've kicked him. Keep going. Keep him not too far in front. Not too far in front. Come on. Keep him coming. Keep him coming. Little ones. Good boy, Trav. Come on, Jeff. Get in another kick. Come on, keep going with it. Keep going with it. Chase him. Chase him. It's still yours. Good boy. Keep going, Phil.
Quite often the parents come along. We do have minor problems in the younger age groups. As they become 8 or 9, the problem increases with parents that feel that their boy is the best on the team. But generally the parents are very, very good, and we rely on them for all of our support and naturally for the raising of funds, which is a difficult job.
The main reason that you didn't win yesterday is when you kicked the ball, you wouldn't follow it through. You run as though you had lead in your shoes. I told you last week, Kev, when we played our first comp game, that if you follow when you kick, you'll score. You followed, you scored. Yesterday, you kicked and stood still. You can't do this.
And I'd like to call on the Senior Vice President for his report.
Thanks, Frank. Well, last Sunday, the nursery boys played their second competition game, unfortunately without the success they had in the first week. The scores were the exact opposite. We were beaten 2-0 by a team that was much better on the day. I'd like to reiterate the remarks. The management committee meets each Wednesday night. It's necessary that we have this because we're catering for some 15 teams this year, which constitutes pretty close to 200 boys when you have reserves in each team. There are a lot of problems associated with organising this, the main one being finance, and it's necessary that we draw in as many parents as possible in this regard to assist in raising the finance.
Comes to general business. I think first of all we'll...
There are several avenues that we use to assist with finances, mainly the running of a tent on match days. This requires the help of parents where we need the erection of the tent.
I think he's quite willing to, laying the tent any time we want.
Well, if you're going to have a barbecue, you have barbecue in one and you have the pigs and
the parents also are pulled into this soccer club by the use of them as coaches, managers. Unfortunately, the majority of them have had no experience in soccer before, or very little experience, and they're giving up their time as a willing worker to give the boys the opportunity of playing soccer. They're doing their best for the boys, and in some cases they're going further afield by attending coaching academies.
Play now in the second half, and Australia's hopes beginning to ebb. The score 0-0, and remember, a draw will be sufficient to take Israel to Mexico. So far, Australia unable to breach the tight Israeli defence. Johnny Warren, number 10 for Australia, leading a sortie on the Israeli goal. Chance for Ray Bartz to break through, but the attack once again broken up by Israel. Now Rutherford, number 14, moving in towards the Israeli penalty box. But again, the Israeli defence come out on top. And watch Israel now. Move the ball upfield. Watch Spiegel, number 8, and number 9, the dangerous Israeli centre-forward, Fagenbaum, as he takes the ball out towards the right wing there. Australia striving to keep its own goal intact now. 15 minutes gone in the second half.
In the early days of the junior games, the boys were coached by any parents or other local enthusiasts who could be persuaded to volunteer. Now, fortunately, coaching schools have been set up where the volunteers are trained in the expertise of the game and the methods for passing on the skills and disciplines to the boys. Under the sponsorship of a national newspaper, star players are made available to train juniors at suburban grounds during school holidays. No wonder the followers are noticing improvements in the general standard of play.
Now, when you dive, if the ball is this high from the ground, right, your body has got to try and be the same height as the ball. So if you dive after a ball that's this high, right, you've got to try and dive that high as well. If the ball's this high, you've got to try and dive, put your body up level with the ball. All right? Now, the way that you should dive is you take, you must be facing the field of play, right? Because whoever's got the ball, he's got to be shooting from in front of you. So when you're diving to your right-hand side, just from here, you take one step with your right foot, push everything off your right foot. Okay? So it's one step and push over, right? Now the other way to the left, exactly the same, one step and push. Now you must try and get your body, your backside and your legs off the ground. You just can't dive and try and hope to get it with your hands. You've got to get your whole body off the ground, right? Now. Sorry. See what I mean? Right? Try and go on your side, here we are. Right, on your side. Now. Right, stop it. Good boy.
A lot of boys always pass with the inside. It's the best way, but there's other ways. You watch the television. Yeah. Kick with a full instep. Full instep. Or, if he's against me, a lot of players pass with the outside. Like, oh, sorry.
Remember, as you go, the foot is on the ball there. You turn around with the ball. Don't put that foot. Two. So we're doing 2 of those. All right through. Ready?
Come on, lads, loosen up, loosen up. Come on, loosen up. Look as if you're enjoying it a little. Good, now hold it. Now get in a straight line. 3 in a straight line, that's it. Okay, give me the ball, son. All I want you to do to start with, I want you about 20 yards apart. By the way. All I want you to do is to drive it at the man in the middle for him to get out of the way. Just drive it at him. Try this one where we put it over his head, turn and control it again. Over, turn and control. Keep Scooby right up front and blitz. Yeah. Only 2 that can do it. Yeah. Come on, over your head, turn and control it. Okay? Good. Good. Now bring your head and thigh and everything into it. Head, thigh, and
before you can start doing any running, obviously, in training, you must have a warm-up period. And my warm-up period is a ball, a man mainly, or a ball between 2. And just a matter of warming up with a ball, getting all your muscles stretched. And then we try keeping it up with the head, with the thigh, kicking it over the head, turning quickly and bringing it down. I also use exercises with the ball, warm-up exercises again, where they hold the ball out at arm's length in between the arms, you know, and twist right and twist left. I try to associate every exercise and every running exercise with a ball, although this can't always be done. To be a first division soccer player out here, you've got to, first of all, you're handicapped by the fact that you've also got to work, as you know. So you've got to have dedication. Even more dedication here, I feel, than in England, because In England, a good soccer player has got all week. There's nothing worse than ending a day's work, getting home, you know, and just starting your tea and then thinking, oh, geez, soccer training tonight, you know. So I feel that dedication, even out here, has still got to be a prime factor.
Good.
Because we've got to get so much work in such a small amount of time. And a lot of the most important work, which is tactics and shooting practice, which I rate is very important out here. We've got to fit that in as well as the training sessions. So I have a 20-minute warm-up which I devote to ball control and suppleness exercises with the ball. Then I move on to something like 30 minutes, 35 minutes of really hard work with 45-second interval stuff. Various exercises you can do with 45, with and without a ball, which is, you can keep them going throughout a season, constantly enjoyable, you know, so that they don't get bored. Well, regarding backing of clubs in Australia, it's very difficult, this, because quite honestly, one of the first clubs I joined out here, and I know for sure that the president of that club, who was a reasonably wealthy man, was pouring money into the club, you know, getting nothing out but pouring money in. I'm sure it nearly put him in the poorhouse. You've got clubs, Prague, Auburn, South Sydney, Western Suburbs, who is one of the most up-and-coming clubs in Australia, apart from my own club, I call it. Western Suburbs are really going places, I'm sure about this. And these are backed by active social clubs, where the go-one-arm bandits bring the cash in for them, because they just can't rely on the gate. It's an unusual situation out here, because we've got a couple of clubs like Panhellenic, Canterbury and Appian. Now these are all migrant-sponsored clubs, migrant-supported clubs.
You must realize that we must give a good average. Our average wasn't the same all the time. 45 minutes and only 20 minutes. Really excellent soccer. I am satisfied with fullbacks and midfield, but now our spearhead must be some more and more dangerous and some better ball control. Another side, don't take it easy too much.
I think the standard is improving, but surprisingly enough, I don't think it's improving the way a lot of people are expecting it to improve. In other words, I don't think that the first division over here is improving, but I do honestly feel that the juniors and the amateurs and the second division is all improving. So I feel that gradually it's bound to catch up to the first division. The reason that the first division isn't improving is simply because, as I say, of the tensions of importance of winning games, of coaches not really getting a good chance to experiment for the simple reason that, well, I shouldn't use the word experiment, I don't think, but coaches can't afford to be bold. The young boys coming up are definitely improving. Even in the couple of years that I've been here, the young boys coming up are definitely showing improvement. This is because, I mean, we've got a coaching system out here, an organised soccer system out here, which is next to none in the world. I've never seen anything like it in my life. There's the organised soccer out here. The under-sixers are all up, all graded up, you know. And again, when we learn to give them more of an ideal, something to aim at,
65 minutes coming up, and the crowd still hopeful of an Australian victory. The score here at the Sydney Sports Ground still 0-0, and what a match it's been. Tension and excitement all the way. Australia mounting another attack now through Johnny Warren, number 10, coming up to the Israeli penalty box, but again that Israeli defence just too strong, as Feigenbaum, number 9, the Israeli deep-lying centre-forward, moves play up to the halfway line, into the centre circle. A lovely pass across to the Israeli right winger, Talbi. Talbi now, with the defence to beat, cuts the ball back, and pressure mounting on the Australian goal that could prove decisive. And Spiegler coming in for the goal that could take Israel to Mexico. A costly slip in the Australian defence, letting in the Israeli captain, number 10, as he comes back to receive the congratulations of his teammates. And a very disappointed Australia proceeds to kick off with only about 8 minutes remaining now. A corner on the left, ball comes across the goal. Australia still battling to pierce this tight Israeli defence. Otiaboni on the left, number 13, working the ball down towards the goal line, shadowed by Little Bar, the Israeli fullback, comes right across the goal, hooked out by the Israeli defender up to the halfway line. There's the blonde-headed Manfred Schaefer, lobbing the ball back into the Israeli goal mouth. And Bissiger comes into action. The Israeli goalkeeper has had a tremendous match. Otiaboni again, number 13, worrying the Israeli defence. The ball goes right across the goal, picked up by Billy Wojtek, coming the other way now. Wojtek slips the pass back to Warren, back to Wojtek. Here comes the drive from Wojtek, and that one was repulsed. Again, Warren on the left, a tremendous shot, and Bissiger brought into action yet again. The time now on Israel's side as Bissiger prepares to clear the ball upfield. Boys in goal, still battling on, looking for that equaliser that just won't come. Just watch that tightly packed Israeli defence. 9 white shirts there in the penalty box, blocking the way to goal. But here's a chance for Australia. Abonyi to Bartz, to Watkis. And that's the equaliser, 1-1, but Australia's effort has come too late. The match is just about all over, and Israel have won the series on aggregate 2-1.
A disappointed side faces the fact that today Australia is not the world's greatest soccer nation. But this top-class competition, the better coaching, and the many juniors moving up in their game, it has to add up to advancing the standards, building Australia up to a world-class soccer nation.